Hi, it's Marcus here from the Bain clan, and today's video is about it's not what we say, it's what we mean. And I did a talk about this a while ago to emphasize one of the important things I've always thought about when people say the power of words, and there is power in words. Especially ancient texts like Sanskrit, Hebrew, ancient languages, Japanese. Ancient languages use something which we refer to as kotodama in Japanese, which is referring to the spiritual essence of the sound of the word. And people who do Kabbalistic work or magical work will know about vibrating holy names, like the holy names in the Bible. And this is done in all sorts of practices, actually. And this is what we mean, or this is what I mean when I say kotodama. It's about the spiritual essence of the word. It's not so much the word, it's the spiritual essence of the sound, actually. So recently, my wife and I have been communicating with star beings about certain things, and I've chatted about the fact that I noticed 6 months ago in a room I was in Clubhouse, and the words that we were transmitting were actually not that as important as the energy or the feeling that was being transmitted in those words. And since then, I've come to the conclusion that often the words that we're using are carrier waves, to put it in a technical sense. And those carrier waves of words are carrying the energy of, well, the energy that we're transmitting, let's say. And that is what we would refer to as a vibration, a feeling, a message. Just to go off a bit here, but it's actually where I'm talking about the same thing, is when we receive what we refer to as light codes, we receive these light codes quietly, silently, but we're receiving the energy of what these light codes are doing. And in some cases, these light codes are changing our DNA strands, making changes to us, making changes to our consciousness or our vibration or our understanding, actually, in some instances. And it's probably similar, although I'm not an expert on this, it's probably similar with what we know as light language. And I don't know whether this is common knowledge or whether it's just my imagination. But for me, when I hear light language, it always sounds very much like, I'm not that knowledgeable on this, but it sounds very much to me like Native American. And I have been informed in the past that the Pleiadian brothers and sisters brought the knowledge that the Native Americans have today in their shamanic rituals, etc., and also their language. I have read this somewhere that the Pleiadians gave some of the Native Americans at least their language, and that would make so much sense, because when we converse with star beings, we talk to them either through our mind or through our thoughts, and they answer us. And when they answer us, of course, we may feel like we're hearing words, but often we get images or ideas given to us from those conversations that we have. And this is, again, the same as what I'm talking about here. So what am I getting at? These things that I'm referring to here, these energy transmissions that not just star beings are transmitting, but we who have raised our vibrations are transmitting. These energy transmissions are being done a lot more now by a lot more people. I've noticed it a lot when I've heard people who are doing meditations, especially. When I hear their voices, I can tell just by listening now, because I suppose I've got the listening ear for this now. I can tell that there is a transmission going on besides what the words are telling us. And so a lot of people now are being able to do this. And I was told by my star being guides, the Arcturians, that, or the Arcturians if you want, that this is going to be the forerunner for us to become more telepathic, which is the next step for us actually. And this is how we're given these messages usually from star beings, in a telepathic way. Anyone that's spoken to ETs in their travels will know that the message just comes straight into them telepathically. And the images and everything all comes together in one fell swoop. So you get all the information at once. And you could get a month's information in a few minutes actually from that. So just be aware of this now when you're listening, especially to spiritually aware people, anyone really. And also when you're transmitting or talking yourself. See if you can feel that what you're saying is not just the words, but is in fact a transmission of energy, a transmission of love, a transmission of caring and sharing, because you want everyone to be able to have these gifts and to be able to transmit this loving light energy into the world. Because that is possibly one of the main things that is happening with these transmissions. It's not just transmitting to people, it's transmitting into the ether, into the worlds. And this is becoming more and more important now. As we go over, we've gone over the cusp and we're heading into this new age. All of us, way showers, light workers, we are here now transmitting these vibrations into the ether to help it change more rapidly, let's say, into the world that we want to be living in. So that's enough for today. And have a think about this and see if it resonates with you. I hope it does. If it doesn't, just leave it in your mental pending tray until another time. Namaste.